Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, April 18th. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show, where the Teach Better team is live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Special shout out to those of you who are listening after the fact on Teach Better Talk podcast. We are so excited to welcome you into this Monday. We know many educators, and especially across the U.S., are experiencing Institute days today. Maybe you have a day off today, or we are headed into a phenomenal week with students. So it's time to go fill up your coffee, get your day started. Feel free to say those wonderful good morning messages in the comments, and we'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. We love seeing people slowly but surely join the show on a Monday morning. Gosh, it's early. Jeff Gargas, how are you?
I'm good. It's another Monday, another week. It's always excited after a fun but long, but actually, it's a long weekend altogether, but like a good long, if that makes sense.
It was a good long weekend. I do want to talk about the weekend because I want to hear about how your family's doing. There were some holidays this weekend, but I also want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that there is snow outside on my car, and I need somebody to complain about it too. So who's volunteering to talk to me about the fact that there is snow on my car right now?
Well, so we don't have snow yet, but on my weather forecast, there's a snow thing with 100% underneath it. So we're supposed to get snow today.
Okay,
so I don't know if you can complain to me if you want, but I'm just gonna complain back if that's okay.
So can you just confirm? I'm sorry, I want to make sure that everyone knows what's going on in the world. It is April 18th.
Apparently, yes.
It's April. What I hear. It's April 18th.
Yep.
There is snow on my car.
Yeah, that's we had snow last week, but see, last week it was a week earlier, so it made sense. Now we had a day where we had just a little green showing on the grass.
You and I did not discuss this. We had no conversation about snow.
It was Tuesday, I think Tuesday or Wednesday we had snow, and it was literally snow and then 70, and then it's crazy up and down right now. And we're supposed to have snow today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be pretty cold, and then by Saturday we're supposed to be at 83. What is going on right now?
It's a lot of snow. I'm not okay with it.
I don't know either. So,
how are you feeling this morning? Are you feeling loved? Because your mug looks like you should be feeling.
I am. This is one of my first dad mugs ever. That's little Jonathan back in the day.
Oh, that's cute.
We still have the duck too. I do. I feel love. I looked through my mugs. I'm like, oh, what should I do? Should I do the Teach Better family Christmas tree? Would have worked well with the snow.
Yeah.
But I decided maybe not. And then I almost went with my okayest mentor ever, but I didn't go with that one. And I'm like, you know what? I love my dad. I think I'll go with that. So
number one dad. I love it. So good. We do have a lot of people commenting on the snow, saying that snow in April is literally the worst thing ever. Katie Miglin wants to add that in. And then Nicole is jumping in. Nikki's jumping in saying that they had snow yesterday on Easter.
More than they did on Christmas. Jeez.
Yeah. I think that's going to mess me up. If you brought your Christmas mug out, wait, yesterday was a significant Christian holiday and there's snow. It must be December.
It must be December.
Yeah.
The kids got gifts and treats and stuff. It must be December.
It must be. Yeah. So how was your weekend? I know that there was an enormous amount of holidays this weekend. I know we're not going to be able to cover all of them, but for you specifically, you celebrated Easter with your
family. We celebrated Easter, yeah. So we had a good weekend. I'm trying to think what all we did. We had a good weekend. Yesterday was Easter, so we had a good, nice that we went to church with my wife's parents. My mother-in-law plays the organ and piano for the church, so it's always fun to go watch them. And Jacqueline gets so excited to get dressed up, and she was just adorable yesterday. And they had a massive Easter egg hunt. that 622 eggs hit, and there was like 7 kids to go get them. So that was fun. And it's hilarious because Jonathan, gets a billion eggs, so he doesn't eat any. Like Jonathan eats almost no candy. He eats suckers, and that's about it. So he's just got this mound of candy, and he's like, we're looking through, and there's literally not a single thing that he would eat. And so we just give it to others. But that was fun. And then we hung out, had good dinner at my in-laws, and just it was kind of quiet, but a fun Easter. Good Easter.
Fun Easter, good Easter, safe Easter. Everybody was
healthy. And how was Passover?
Passover was great. Yeah, we celebrated Passover this weekend. That was Friday night and Saturday night. So I feel like I was recovering from the busy family time on Sunday. Most of you were just getting started. So I don't know how. I really don't. I know this is like a very Jewish thing to say. Can I say that? But like, sure. I think it's so hard for there to be a significant holiday on a Sunday, because then it leads for like, you almost need Monday to recover. Which is why I know so many people have like institute days today.
Well, because today's technically Easter Monday, which isn't a federal thing, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's still a Sunday, so you're still supposed to rest and relax.
I know. So it was nice because like my Passover Seder's on Friday and Saturday night, with, safely with a lot of family, were late evenings. And
well, a lot later yesterday than we normally would have gotten home and gotten ready for bed and stuff like that. So after, a later night on Saturday, doing the things you do the night before, that was a fun one though, because we had a little one who was starting to doubt the magic.
Oh.
And then she found fur in the morning, courtesy of it took care of all that. So that was like a fun, magical moment. I'm trying to speak softly.
Yes. I'm glad that you had.
But it made for a late night Saturday, though.
Yeah, a good family weekend, but also like a weekend that was full of some fun memories with the kids, right? That's kind of, I know that's not the point of this weekend, but that's definitely a highlight for many, many people that are celebrating any holiday over a weekend with family. Yep. It's trying to get those fun memories together.
Yes. So it was good.
I will say, I know so many of our Teach Better family members are not in school today, or celebrating an institute day with staff, or possibly not having school or heading into school, but knowing that it's an early Monday. There's a lot to celebrate today. So regardless of what situation you're in, this is good. Good morning to Harper too.
Good morning, Harper.
Katie's oldest. Good morning, Harper. So fun. So, Jeff, it was a good weekend, good family weekend, full of food and candy and all the good things.
All the good things.
Good. Oh, I love this. Adam is jumping in saying that he is in Atlanta going to the Ron Clark Academy this morning. Hey, Adam, make sure you tell our friend Kim Bearden we say hi.
Yes, tell Kim we said hi.
Yes.
He's making the drive, huh?
So fun.
It's about 12 hours for Adam, probably.
Is it?
11 or so, yeah. Pretty straight shot, so it's an easy drive, but a long drive.
Well, good morning to all of you. I know as we kind of get our morning started, feel free to comment as much as you can, but obviously safely, Adam. If you're driving in the car, please make sure you are being safe. Jeff, in addition to obviously a full weekend with family and friends and so many different cultures coming together, we have a busy week this week and a busy week next week. Before we get into this week, can we talk about the fact that next week's going to be crazy for us?
I got a couple busy weeks here coming up.
Next
week I get to hang out with you though.
Yes, and Katie.
Yeah, so next week me and Katie go out to California, to Palm Springs, for the Bar Center, their conference, their annual conference, which is going to be a blast. We're going out for 3 days.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there's going to be snow out there. I'm pretty sure we're safe from the snow while we're out there. But that's going to be exciting because the Bar does such great work, and this conference looks amazing, where they bring together all educators from all their schools that they do work with, and they're going to be sharing a lot of ideas and results and takeaways and stuff. And then you're speaking as well. We've got a table and some fun activities going on there that we're going to have a good time hanging out with them. I feel like the bar folks are becoming good friends of ours, so that's exciting. So that's cool. I don't know, 3 days with Katie, we'll see how that goes, but I think it's going to be okay.
Well, she texted me on Friday night, I think it was, or it was Saturday. I'm not sure, but it was in the middle of Passover.
Getting tips on how to deal with me for 3 days? Is that what?
Well, she was not only looking for tips on how to tolerate you for 3 days, but also wanting to like understand what to pack. And I'm like, Katie, I need to get through this holiday weekend before I can even think about what I'm going to pack. I don't know what I'm going to pack. Not ready yet. So if any of you are listening and have suggestions on what we should be packing in our bags for 3 days with Jeff in Palm Springs and at a conference and speaking and learning and meeting new people, let us know. Feel free to do.
Clothes, shoes, and possibly like earphones to,
So headphones,
survive.
clothes, and shoes. That's all I need.
I think that's all you need. Yeah.
Okay.
What else? Maybe a computer. Bring your computer. Like, you never know. You might need it.
I probably should bring a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like my presentation that I need to share with everybody would probably have technology.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be okay. If you forget, we'll see if someone can pull up a YouTube and we'll play a video or something.
There we go. It's kind of like, when you don't know what to share, so you pull up a video and like that's how you teach your kids. I get it.
It's good. It's good stuff.
I like it.
No, that's gonna be fun though. That's gonna be a good time.
And then the week after, you're at another event.
Yeah, I come home for 2 days. And then I go to Phoenix, Arizona for the CEX festival or CEX conference or X. I think it's an expo, the Creator Economy Expo. So that's a business marketing conference, and going out with our friend Joe Polizzi and his crew there putting it on, and they're bringing in some really awesome names from the world of YouTube and community building and streaming and all that type of stuff to come together and share with a whole bunch of creators from all around the world. And so I get the pleasure of moderating one of the tracks. So I get to chat with and introduce a whole bunch of people who are out of my league is how I describe it. So it's going to be a good time. Going to be a lot of fun there too. So it's been a lot of travel for two weeks, but it's funner travel, if that makes sense. Right. So.
And it's kind of fitting for your role within Teach Better because you're headed to an education focused conference that's really going to be dedicated on instructional practices, like school culture practices, and then headed in more of a business realm of how do we ensure that we're getting the practices we've learned into content and out into our communities. I think you're doing a good job.
It's going to be a good mix in both places. I just happen to be at really, really nice hotels and spots area. So nice. And two cities I've never been to, so that's fun. I've never been to Arizona ever, so like the first time going to Arizona, so that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be really good. I know so many of us are eager to get back into traveling, get back into attending conferences that are a significant distance away, doing that safely. I'm glad to hear that slowly but surely we're creeping into that realm, which is really
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
So this week, we are obviously very excited for DDI, Daily Drop-In.
Yes.
Next week, we are not necessarily going to really be on the show, but
except for a pretty big one on Monday.
Well, obviously, but we have some good guests that are going to be hosting the show to step in for this incredible week. So we're really excited for next week. It'll be good. Okay. Lots of surprises coming.
So are we not going to share that today? Are we going to give it away? Okay, I didn't want to. If we're not going to, I don't look at the plans ahead of time. I just kind of show up
on Monday, which is going to be a big announcement before we peace out for California. That's where we're announcing our final keynote for our Teach Better conference.
That's pretty cool.
Are you ready for that?
We're going to finish the picture.
Finish the picture.
Wow. Yeah. When did we release that?
The last week of January. So it was like the 31st of January.
Oh, that's right. Yep. So all of February, all of March.
All of April.
Most of April. Yeah, pretty much all of April. Of just not having the full picture, and now you'll finally get the full picture.
Well, it's kind of fun because the full picture is going to come to fruition the last week that proposals are open for the conference. So, like, I'm not saying we planned that, but I'm kind of saying we planned that.
I kind of think we planned that.
I kind of feel like that
feels like something Rachel would plan.
Okay. Shout out to Rachel from the Teach Better team, who's literally the puppeteer of all.
I love how with Rachel, like, you just get zero credit anymore, ever. Like, Rae never gets any credit anymore for any ideas she has or anything. It just all goes to Rachel.
Well, that's the thing is, like, and all of you know this. I'm sorry that we're off topic this morning, but, like, when you work with good people, you no longer get credit because you don't deserve it. Like, the fact is that the Teach Better team is like 23, 24 people strong. Sure. And it used to be that you and I got a lot of credit. Now you and I get very little credit. We really do. And that's okay.
I don't even get credit for creating the grid method anymore.
Well, Jeff,
Like, I worked so hard to create this incredible framework for utilizing mastery learning in my 7th grade science classroom. And then now everyone says Chad did it.
hey, Jeff, you didn't create the grid method. Chad did create the grid method.
I'm gonna look that up.
I'm pretty sure.
That sounds unlikely.
Pretty sure you did not create the grid method. But for other things that you used to get credit for, you still get no credit for. So you're right. You're like,
I don't remember when I used to, but okay, yeah, but that's actually a really good point, though. Like, something as if you're fortunate enough to get to serve in a role where you're trying to help lead and guide people, like, the goal is to actually get no more credit ever again.
yeah.
If you do that, you've done your job at least decent enough, or at least found the right people to do their job better than you could, which is my case.
So do you think we could function without you? And is this your formal resignation?
This is my form. I'm going to California. I'm never coming back.
Okay. Well,
Family's already out there. Flew them out yesterday.
there you go. Friends, we do need to do our moment of appreciation using our Happy Feed app. We love to document a moment of gratitude every morning. We are already behind in the show, but we love all the comments. There's been a lot of participation already. So shout out to all of you this morning. We appreciate you being here live with us. We do have a submission we need to do in our Happy Feed app of a moment of gratitude. Jeff Gargas, do you have something that you're grateful for this morning?
I am grateful for no longer getting credit for anything.
Ooh, tell us more about that. I love that.
We just talked about it.
I know, but it takes a minute to put it in. So
because that means we've found the right people to do the right things better than we can.
All right. Well, that wasn't long enough for me to type it, so you suck. It's fine.
I also want to note Alex's comment asking the very accurate question of there's a topic on Monday. Like you said, we were off topic, as if we're ever on topic on Mondays.
Well, the assumption is that, like, within the first 15 minutes, we should probably already be in good news for the day. And, like, yeah, we kind of have, like, general topics and timeframes that we're working within, more or less.
Mondays operate on the same legitimacy as our brain breaks on Wednesdays. That's kind of where we're at on Mondays. It's like we have a timeline that we're trying to go about, but
I'm sorry. Did you just compare the formal, important daily drop-in morning show that is committed to waking everyone up in the morning as they get ready for the most productive day of their lives to drinking beer on brain break? Is that what you just compared us to our Wednesday brain break? We have value in this show.
Let's get something correct here before you start spouting off lies. It's usually bourbon.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
I'm going to click the button for some good news.
That's probably a good idea. Let's do that.
Go in the wrong direction. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. We're seeing a lot of tweets going out of many people tuning into the show and sharing. Special shout out to Stephen Wick, who is posting that he always loves to tune into the Daily Drop-In Show. We appreciate you. You know, Jeff, we have some good news this morning, and we also have some holidays. So are you up for celebrating some holidays?
Yeah, let's talk about them. We just did a bunch of holidays. That's interesting to see what holidays are today.
Well, one of the most important ones for at least those in the U.S., it's tax day.
Today is tax day. You gotta get them. They gotta be postmarked by today.
Yes, and you're in trouble. Can we just note, even though I know every year we say this, but I am I feel confident saying this. I am a well-educated person. Why are taxes so stinking hard? I'm putting that out there into the world just so that maybe somebody needs to hear that. I spent so much time this season on taxes, and I just want to put it out there. It shouldn't have been that hard. And it wasn't even just calculating the taxes. It was like going through the website to give them all of my money. So shout out to those of you who put that for taxes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it really, it really should just be, hey, this is what you owe us, and we cut a check. But if they did that, you wouldn't be able to get around taxes and pay less, and that's why it doesn't. Actually, the actual reason why it is because there's massive tax companies that tell the government not to make it easier. But we're not going to get into that today. We're going to
All
stay
I'm
focused on other things.
All I'm saying is for those of you who have chosen to go to teachbetter.com recently, we try and make it as easy as possible for you. There's bold letters, there's buttons, there's very clear links you can click on.
Yep.
We don't want you to be stressed on the website. We want you to be able to explore freely and find all the information you choose. On those websites, I'm feeling a little upset. That's all I'm saying.
And if you go underneath work with a team, you'll find calculate your tax. You go there, there's a really easy online form to figure out how much tax you owe us for the year. It's super simple. You can just wire it to his PayPal.
Nope.
It's
Not
easy.
true. Guys, don't spend your money on us. We're here to support you, but you should give your money to your friends and family and not, I don't know, I guess tax is not occasion. Happy Tax Day. Okay.
Happy Tax Day.
It's also Adult Autism Awareness Day. What a wonderful day to be able to celebrate today. And as we already noted, it is also Easter Monday. Out of curiosity, I'm sorry I didn't read this, Jeff. Is Easter Monday I'm so sorry, this is the dumbest question of all time.
I have no idea.
Is it a real holiday in terms of like something people celebrate, or they're just acknowledging?
I think Dave referred to it as a bank holiday. I think it's just a holiday where like your banks are closed. I don't know.
It's
if
not.
The stock market. It's not.
It's not a bank holiday.
It's not a bank holiday. I don't know. Is it just maybe some states that celebrate it and that's why it gets listed? But it's not federal, so you don't have like. You're not getting the day off.
It's not federal. It's not a bank holiday, but it looks like some states might acknowledge it. It says here that there are different and interesting traditions surrounding the Monday that comes immediately after Easter Day. So it seems like some people have traditions for Monday. So it looks like an official holiday to an extent. Which is cool.
Maybe that's where you rest is on the Monday instead.
There you go. I will say today is also National Animal Crackers Day, which you can't eat during Passover, but I will tell you, I'm so excited for Passover to end to bite into an animal cracker. I love an animal cracker.
When does Passover end?
Passover is 8 days. So
it's 8 days. Okay. And why can't you eat animal crackers? I'm sorry that I'm ignorant to this. Jews
typically during like Passover don't consume anything with yeast.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No beer. No, like cakes, nothing with flour. Flour
okay.
With yeast.
Gotcha.
Well, that's not true. You can buy flour without yeast. But the point is like no breads, things like that.
Okay.
So animal crackers have yeast in them because they're a little fluffy.
Yeah. Okay. I just learned something today. Thank you.
Maybe the most important holiday, it is Light Man Appreciation Day. So for all those men and women that make sure that all the light poles are taken care of.
Oh, like electrician light man. I was like, what's light man? Is that like someone who like dances with lights or like someone who doesn't weigh much? But you're talking about like electrician light man. Yeah, that's
very cool.
Shout out to all of you.
Yeah, talk about an important job. Holy moly.
No kidding.
See, this is, I have a passion about this, but I really wish for all of us to do a little bit better, put a little bit more focus on bringing out all the jobs that exist in the world and exposing our students to them. Because how often are you in school and they talk about the electricians that are on the side of the road that are fixing light poles? Like never.
Well, and I wasn't going to say anything but that you kind of took us there. I saw a video literally yesterday of a guy just talking through like how we don't glorify these jobs enough that are some of the most important jobs in the world. Like people who pick up the trash, the people who clean corporate offices, the people who clean public offices, the people who clean the roads, fix the driveways and your sidewalks and the lights, like make sure our water still runs. We don't glorify those when they are so crucial. So I'm 100% for that. You need exposure to kids to all this. And by the way, some of those also pay really, really well. Have great benefits too if you want to glorify that part of it. But
if you want
crucial.
If you want to explore how to maybe integrate those more intentionally and consistently in your classroom, we do have a course in the Teach Better Academy on how to do that called Teach Further. So,
there you go. Well,
our good news article for the day does come with a video that we're not going to show this morning, but definitely worth watching if you're interested in learning more about this story. It says that a dad recently set a record pushing his quintuplets in a half marathon. So therefore anything is possible. Chad, who is not our Chad from the Teach Better team, but a different Chad.
It could be Chad from our Teach Better team.
It could be because he has 1 million children.
And he's running a marathon next Sunday.
Yep, there you go. He ran 13.1 miles in a race in 2 hours and 19 minutes, And his 4-year-olds enjoyed the ride as he pushed his quintuplets.
Well, that's a half marathon. Not that it's any less impressive.
It is extremely impressive. So there is a video. They're all like in a line. It kind of looks like they've created like a little bit of a roller coaster stroller of all 4.
Oh, like it's in like that? Like
yeah. I thought it was going to be 2 and 2.
So I think, yeah.
But it wasn't. They're like, it looks like a snake.
So he's pushing like a, that's a, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So good. So
wow. So 4 of them in there.
Yeah. I would love in the comments this morning if you wouldn't mind telling us if you have children, like how many children you have. Because we always
have you ever ran a race with them?
Oh, running a race with the kids? That seems a little
in the strollers. I've never done that. However, I was thinking when you're going, the first thing when you said that with quintuplets, my first thought in my head was "Eat your heart out, Adam Welcome," because in his book he talks about him and his wife running with the strollers and stuff. So that's not easy. That's hard. With 4 of them, that's like actually that's some decent weight at that point.
Run Like a Pirate is a really good Adam Welcome book that I cannot relate to because I have not run more than like a block.
Hey, you wrote a book with Adam Welcome.
I did.
You did that,
and it's not about running.
It's not about running, no, but it is about Adam Welcome. Actually, it's not about Adam Welcome. It's by.
Why Adam Welcome? He has a few stories in there. We wrote it together.
Somebody tag Adam on Twitter and let him know that we are talking about him in the best way possible.
Ridiculous.
Anyway.
I have been walking more, though. I do want at least a little bit.
You have been. Rae's always walking when we're meeting.
I love it.
She walks on her treadmill while we're meeting. So, you would think it'd be distracting, but it's not. But she's kind of always, which, of course, in the morning I'm standing right now, so I'm moving around, but you hear this little footsteps and she's just going. And
here's my mindset, friends. I know that you are all buzzing around your classroom and your school buildings all day long. But if you were to work on the weekends or you were to work in the evenings, I'm loving walking while working, like answering emails or whatever you need to do. And here's my argument. That way, if you're in a meeting and it's an hour long and you feel like maybe you didn't get accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, or maybe it was a stressful meeting, I can always end the meeting and being like, okay, maybe that meeting didn't go exactly as I wanted, but I just walked 10 miles.
You're banking I was gonna say you're banking quite a bit of miles every day by just doing that. Yeah,
I haven't hit above my 15.5 that I did a few weeks
ago. You've walked the half marathon while taking meetings.
But I didn't push a stroller of 4 children.
Yeah, we got work done. So
true.
I don't know. Anyway, we need to get into our brainstorm bank. I'm keeping everybody take note. Jeff keeping us on track this morning. You're welcome, Rae. Welcome back. Rae is dancing. It's DDI, Daily Drop In here with Teach Better Team. We're live Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on, what are we on? We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. So whatever you're watching, if you're watching live with us, we really appreciate it. Or if you're listening later on the Teach Better Talk podcast, we really appreciate that as well. Hopefully you'll give us a subscribe, maybe a rating, a review. That'd be great too. Actually, if you're live with us, you can give us a rating review in the comments. That'd be okay too. You can even make up your own screen name, and it would be on Apple Podcasts if you want. Anyway, this portion.
Do you ever go and read those? Remember when we used to
read them? We should start doing that on Mondays every now and then, is reading one of the reviews on the podcast, because we used to do that on we had a different format. We haven't done that. You want to read one right now? I know that's not what we're doing, but you could say, Rae, that we're refreshing that idea.
Oh, interesting. Why would we be refreshing that idea? Tell us our theme this week.
The word refresh is in our theme for this week. That's why that's clever.
True.
I don't. You guys don't realize when I lean in like this, it's because my microphone's there, so it's so I can whisper to you.
I will say we do have a 4.9 rating on Apple Podcasts. So if you're going to rate us, could you only stick with 5 stars? That'd be great.
Who gave us the 4 stars?
You know what? There's always a hater. We love a good hater every so often, right? It's good. It's good.
That Dave Schmitto.
Yeah, it was probably Dave Schmitto. That's fair.
Anyway.
This one says, so engaging. I have taken to listening to this podcast every day to and from work. Such a great and inspiring way to spend my drive. Keep it up. That's from Tartaro.
Tartaro. Tartaro? Tataro? Well, thank you, M.
Love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So do that, and maybe we'll talk about you here too.
Love it.
That'd be great. This portion of the show is all about our theme. So every week we have the theme. A lot of times we don't even get to it with the two of us because, like Alex referenced earlier, topics, themes, whatever. But this week is all about refreshing practices, refreshing routines, and kind of sort of a reset, make sure we're staying on, which I think is both difficult but also really important this time of the year. As we get close to the end of the year, we can start seeing that sort of light at the end of the tunnel. We're just trying to inch through. We start maybe getting a little relaxed because we're just almost there, and it's like, we'll just push. I'm sure the students are getting there too. But I think because of that, it's really important to make sure that we are utilizing whatever bit of the year we have left to get as much growth and achievement out of the students as possible. So, Rae, thinking in your classroom, this time of the year, right, you just finished up spring break, you just finished up Easter. You had a lot of really awesome practices throughout the year. You had things put in place, routines, things you had tested, tried, and were working or not working, whatever. How do you avoid this idea, this potential trap of just kind of like chilling out, coasting, and sort of refresh yourself to make sure that we are engaging our students the best way possible?
Yeah, no, I think it's tricky because depending on where you teach and what area and how early you started the school year, you have anywhere from 6 weeks left with students to like 15 weeks with students. But regardless, you're nearing the end unless you're in a full year school building, which I know most of our community is not. There's some sort of summer break. So as you're looking at how you want to spend that time, I think a refresh at this point is actually really important for educators to say, hey, I'm not just going to throw away the next 6 weeks or 15 weeks, because it can be easy to do that. I know there's been many times over the course of the last decade that I've been teaching where you look at and you're like, okay, 6 weeks left if you're ending at the end of May, but it's actually more like 4 weeks left because sometimes the last 2 weeks are like a wash, especially the last week of school.
Got a lot of stuff going on, yeah.
And then you're like, well, there's 4 weeks left. We're not actually going to get anything accomplished in 4 weeks. Or you're looking at your content and you're like, okay, how do I race through this just to expose them to it because I have so much left and I didn't necessarily plan perfectly to meet all my standards by the end of the year in that perfect little bow. So how do I just cram everything down their throat? So trying to find this balance is tricky because, you know, depending on how long you have, it's kind of easy to give yourself a little bit of a pass and not necessarily keep alignment. So I will say, Jeff, a lot of my world recently, especially with Shadowshevsky and Dr. Dave Schmittou, we've been diving into the concept of depth of knowledge and aligning our standards to all the other work we do in the classroom. And I think that would be a good place to start on this Monday morning is refreshing our objective and ensuring that we are aligning our work all the way through so that every activity we expose our students to is aligned to an objective or a goal or a standard that we're striving to meet.
I like it. So refresh that alignment, make sure that whatever is happening is purposeful, meaningful.
Yeah, so we are currently, like internally in the work that we do, obviously the Teach Better team does professional development with schools and districts kind of all over the US and Canada. A lot of the work we're doing right now is refreshing the grid method workbook, which I know so many of you have a copy of that workbook. It's such a wonderful way to walk you through how to create a grid, including all the classroom management practices that you actually need to be able to conduct a mastery learning classroom. So with that workbook kind of getting a refresh after 7 years of impacting classrooms around the world, it's really fun to be able to dive into some of the areas that we've been able to see educators really lean into as important reminders for them. One of which is that beginning step of identifying your standard, breaking down your standard into targets, understanding that there should be mastery questions created, those perfect questions that align and give you an answer to if a student has met that target. And all of that, we use depth of knowledge to be able to scaffold. So our endless conversation that is hopefully coming to a wrap up so we can send all this information out to you guys. We've had endless conversation on depth of knowledge. I think it's so important that educators get a refresh on that every year.
We've talked so much about it that I just stopped paying attention.
We've talked so much about it. You've been in those meetings. We've had hours and hours of dialogue around depth of knowledge. Seriously.
Yep.
And honestly, Jeff, I know that we haven't really talked about it too much on the show, but we were just awarded a remote edX grant in the state of Ohio to work with a number of ESCs in the state of Ohio to get hopefully some really valuable professional development into school districts in Ohio, kind of across the state. And one of the most common things that they are asking for professional development on
depth of knowledge.
Is depth of knowledge.
Yep.
And so everybody's kind of needing a refresh, which is good.
Yeah, I think in a variety of different ways in which we're looking at that, depending on what schools they serve and stuff. But it's all tailoring back to this: how do you align everything that you're doing in your classroom to? Because this goes in, we don't need to go further, but like regardless of what your initiative is, somewhere along that initiative, whether it's in the foundation of it or the execution of it, aligning to depth of knowledge is in there or should be in there at least. Yeah. And that's what we're finding everywhere we go. So that's why those conversations are happening.
Yeah. So regardless of where you are in your educational journey or where you're currently teaching, I encourage you all, maybe this week as a reminder, do a little refresh, whether you're using a depth of knowledge being Webb's depth of knowledge. If you're not sure what that is, a simple Google search, you're going to find so many resources, but there's also so many at teachbetter.com. We have an entire course on Webb's DOK if you're interested. I think it's a free course in the Academy. So
it's a free course.
Good free course by the one and only Chad Ostrowski. But we also use Bloom's taxonomy. That's another avenue to explore the depth in which a student is understanding something. And we've trained on both. It depends on the school district, kind of which one they prefer. We actually know a few school districts that are now using both of them because they serve different purposes. But regardless, we are all busy and it's Monday morning. So my reminder is you don't necessarily have to go deep dive and take a course on this topic, but are you familiar with the concepts and are you ensuring that you're at least integrating small moments of this really, really important concept to be a really good refresh?
Yes. And if all that sounds too much for you, the very least you should be doing right now is reflecting on what you're doing and refreshing to make sure that you're doing the right things.
Yeah. And keep an eye out because the new grid method workbook is going to be so cohesive that that might be something that you might snag this summer to make sure. We have a PDF version too, so it'll be easy to grab. It'll be good.
If you're getting tired of us, Jeff and Ray here on this Monday morning, you can just refresh your browser and we'll go away.
Oh, stop it. No.
I was sitting waiting for it and I couldn't fit it in. And then I'm like, there it is. I'll just do it like that.
We should get into what's coming this week, though, because they might be sick of us, but there's a lot of valuable guests coming on this week.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
All right. Here we go. Upcoming this week. This is my second least favorite button to push because I never know which one to click. Jeff, I won't lie. I was looking at who's coming on this week, and typically Brad Hughes and I preview who's coming on this week. I either last week didn't read who was coming on this week, or I read the wrong week because I did not know these were our guests until right this moment.
So before we get into that, why is that your second least favorite button to push? Sorry, that just caught me before you said that.
Jeff,
what's your first least favorite? Well, what's your least favorite?
We've talked about it. All the buttons on the back end. I wish that we need a way to stream what our back end looks like when we're streaming. We'll do that at some point. But all the buttons are labeled. Let's clarify. I labeled all the buttons. This is a Rae issue. Are you about to share?
I'm about to share what it looks like.
Oh my God.
That's crazy looking.
Whoa. See? It's nuts. It's nuts. Crazy.
Hold on. Hopefully we don't go away here. No, it's still crazy. Anyway, This is what she's talking about over on this side here.
Yes.
These buttons here are all the videos and stuff that can play.
Yes.
Or pictures that pop up or whatever. This is freaky. I'm turning this off.
It's because you're sharing your screen.
I know. It's a hall of mirrors in there.
If you're listening on the podcast, it was kind of like being in a mirror room where like you were seeing yourself 1,400 times. Either way, the buttons are not labeled clearly, which is my fault.
So you're the one who labels them.
But here's what happens. Okay, teacher to teacher here, friends. You know where we're at. If I change one of the labels on these videos, I have to go change like 7 documents that reference those videos, and I don't feel like doing it, so I'm just going to complain about it every week. So this video that I have to click to get into this segment, which we are previewing what the week looks like, is called Up Period This Week, which typically would like stand for upcoming this week.
I know why. I just love the period. Like,
Yeah.
She
It's frustrating is the point.
Yep. Good news commercial. I enjoy that. Like, good news commercial. Nice, spelled out like a nice title. Brainstorm Bank, all capitals.
Yep. And then the buttons I hate pushing are the ones that are week specific, because like last week we announced 2 more featured speakers, and I'm always nervous I'm going to click the one that has like a spoiler in it, like a video that we're not supposed to release.
Because you've preloaded them.
Yes. So like I don't want to click the one that's about our keynote next week, because that one has to wait till next week. So I have massive anxiety when we have like something different that I'm going to click the wrong button.
This is fun.
So fun. Wow. Isn't this a
Someone says you need to color code them. Who is that? Aaron. Of course it's Aaron that has a great idea. We should color code them.
I need to color code. I would love to do that. I don't think you can in this system.
I don't think you can, but it would be fun if we could.
Either way, upcoming this week is what we're supposed to be doing. Guys, tomorrow, Tom Murray is joining us. I love Tom Murray. Tell us a little bit about Tom Murray, Jeff. He has like been connected to us for a super long time. And Alex is commenting, why up and not upcoming? Alex, at the time, it's because upcoming was too long on the screen and it would cut off the rest of it.
Is it that Tom Murray?
That Tom Murray, he wrote the foreword for the Teach Better book.
I know him.
I know. He also wrote, I have his book right here.
Yes.
Personal and Authentic. That was his most recent book.
Yeah, I have a couple of his in there. I'd have to go find it, but I have one of his other books too.
Guys, Thomas C. Murray is essentially the coolest dude in school.
Thomas C. Murray was the first keynote after I don't know how many years it was into this, first keynote that I like. He grabbed me right off the bat, and I didn't stop listening the entire time. Yep. And we were in Wisconsin at a conference, and I was sitting next to you, and I leaned over, and I think I'd said then that he needs to write the foreword for our book.
Yes.
Because he just grabbed me, and I was hooked. And so, he said yes, which was awesome.
He's one of the best guys that we've connected with. And we connected with him super early on in our Teach Better family development. So cannot wait for him to come on and share. And there's not enough good things we could say about him.
He was one of our early guests on the podcast too.
He was.
Very early on.
On Wednesday, we have Dan Kreinus joining us.
Dr. Dan.
He's a very active member in our admin mastermind that we have on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good conversation.
Good guy. I'm in a couple other Voxer groups with Dan. Always a good guy. Always brilliant. Lots of value from that guy. So.
And then on Thursday we have Maria joining us. Maria is also very, very, very active in our admin mastermind as well. So there's gonna be a lot of different perspectives we'll be able to get into for the
people. This is the first week in a while where I'm like, yes, I know all 3 of these people. Like.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. Yeah.
And my argument is like, it's really great to have familiar faces that we haven't featured recently. So all these 3 people, and obviously Brad Hughes is Friday, should be somewhat familiar if you've been around the Teach Better community for a while, but we love bringing them back because we have new members constantly joining our Teach Better family. Yeah. And there's a lot of great people to be exposed to. So we can't wait to bring out some familiar faces to some, maybe some new faces to others. And then, I mean, not to like out anybody, but then Saturday, which we are not going to be live for Daily Drop-In, is Katie Miglin's birthday. So
Saturday's Katie Miglin's birthday.
I know, she's turning 107. We're really excited.
107.
She's ancient. Mm-hmm.
She looks pretty good. She doesn't look a day over 87.
Wow. See, I know. Yeah. So good.
So Alex has mentioned that Alex is playing the story that when I leaned over about Tom Murray that you answered, we are writing a book. And help me remember, but I'm pretty sure we hung out. That was the first time we met Shelly in person. Was at that conference, wasn't it?
I don't know that.
Tara was there, I believe.
I don't know that. It was
one of the first times that it was like the second time ever that Tara did one of her presentations and she had us talk to about it. But I think we sat with Shelley was right in the mix of like finalizing the book stuff.
I do love the good old days of
Mm.
like attending conferences and seeing people that you hadn't seen in a while. And like we used to do conferences where like a bunch of the Teach Better team went together to
Yeah.
an event. Like we got to get back into that. And once it's safe for everybody to be traveling, it's so
I mean, there's 3 of us going next week. Does that count?
yeah, to be honest, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah.
Exactly. Like that's interesting.
Okay.
Say,
Can I
what?
say, not only are 3 of us going to the conference next week, but we have so much junk that we're bringing with us, including like 2,000 corks. It's going to be so much fun.
It's only 700.
It's only 700 corks. I'm sorry.
Let's not get crazy.
Jeff had to drink all that wine to get 700 corks. That's all I'm saying.
That's why it was a long weekend.
It was a long weekend.
Speaking of conferences and stuff, any others coming up that maybe people should look out for, pay attention to, register for, submit a proposal for?
I can't think of anything. Why?
Hint, little shameless plug.
Oh, you mean the Teach Better conference? That is in Ohio. That is in Ohio, October 14th and 15th. You can learn all about our Teach Better conference at teachbetterconference.com, including you have 2 more weeks to submit your proposal. Friends, I am so stressed about the committee having to choose these session proposals, but I will tell you that we have plenty for you to keep submitting more. That's what I'm going to keep thinking.
We have plenty for you to keep submitting more.
Yeah,
I don't understand that sentence.
There's no cap for how many.
Oh, yeah. As many people. Yeah. Like there's already a lot in, but at this point, it's going to be an entire, at least a day, if not 7 days of trying to go through them anyway for those poor folks. So,
you know what's awesome is that I don't have to pick it. So it's great.
Yes.
I keep getting messages of people being like, "Hey Rae, just submitted my proposal. Keep your eyes out." And I'm like, I'll let the more important people know that you submitted.
Yeah, that was the hardest part of the 2019 conference was trying to figure out, like, because you can only select so many.
Right. But this is
anyway.
2 days of professional development. We are announcing 12 people in our first lineup. We have 1 left. We'll be announcing our keynote on Monday. But those 12 people are just the initial launch. It includes 2 keynotes and incredible featured speakers. But the hope would be that you all submit a session to present at the Teach Better conference, and then you too will join that featured speaker lineup. So we can't wait to have you.
Like U2's coming? Like Bono?
We're hoping Bono shows up.
Like
he hasn't submitted his proposal yet. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna critique the heck out of it. No, on a serious note, I really hope that you make our jobs harder by submitting your proposal. So
yeah, really
that's what we're looking for.
Can't wait. Awesome. All right. Hey, Jeff, I know you have a full day ahead of you meeting.
Very important work.
We're all headed into school or enjoying a day off. Not to brag, but I get to log off here and go fill up my coffee and go to the vet. Isn't that so
That's
fun?
exciting.
I love going to the vet. It's going to be terrible, so I can't wait to start my morning that way. And then, it should be a good day. Hey, Jeff, FYI, I did look at our calendar. We have meetings tonight until like 9 o'clock at night.
We have, it's 10 for me. But
10 for you. Yeah, so it's going to be a long day.
I told Amy, I said, I have meetings all night tomorrow night, meeting today. And she's like, oh, like until when? I'm like, I think it's Tuesday sometimes.
No, literally though, because I was looking, because I was going to see if I could move my calendar a little bit. I was going to shift girls' night, which is typically on Tuesday, to see if Monday worked better. And then I was like, no, we're literally going to sit in a Zoom call meeting.
3 hours tonight, this evening.
Yeah. I mean, and I think we're going to do some work during the day too. So it's really weird.
Yeah, we have a meeting in about 2 hours 3 hours from now. We have a meeting.
Well,
there's some other ones too, I think. And
I have to go to the vet first.
You got to go to the vet. So that's an important meeting. Have fun with that. I'm not going to go to the vet. Yeah. Amy's going to go to the vet.
Amy does go to the vet every
day.
Every day. All right, friends, we hope you have an incredible Monday, regardless of what you're celebrating, even if it's just you being fabulous. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. We are headed into a great week all together, not only for Daily Drop-In, but we have Brain Break on Wednesday, and we also have a live where we are going to be featuring Kevin Butler this week, so we cannot wait to celebrate him. If you need anything, please let us know. We'll make it happen. Jeff, thanks for coming live with me this morning.
See y'all. Have a great week.
See you, friends.